And welcome to the August 21st, 2012 meeting of the Glendale Housing Authority. May we have the roll call, please?
Authority members: Friedman.
Here.
Manukian.
Here.
Mincy.
Here.
Karazian.
Here.
Quintero.
Here.
Weaver.
Here.
Chair Najarian.
Here. May we have your report?
The agenda for the August 21st, 2012 regular meeting of the Glendale Housing Authority was posted on Thursday, August 16, 2012 on the bulletin board outside City Hall.
Thank you. Next item?
Next item is oral communications. There was one card submitted. Discussion is limited to items not part of this agenda. Each speaker is allowed 5 minutes. Members of the Housing Authority may question or respond to the speaker, but there will be no debate or decision, and the matter may be referred to staff through the Executive Director for an investigation and a report.
I have one card from Herbert Milano.
Good afternoon. In 2001 of a fairly comprehensive report on how much the city invests in youth, the problems and the deficiencies and the challenges that the city faced back then. At the time, the report noted that we spent about 1% of the city's overall budget on youth, or around, at the time, 2.4% of the general fund. And Mr. Najarian, I believe that you asked the city manager to perhaps do a follow-up. I haven't been here for 6 weeks, so I don't know if a follow-up has been made. So in case that the follow-up was made, I'm sorry I missed it, but perhaps there could be an update on it. And the reason why I bring it up is because in the Glendale News Press, there was this story concerning the additional charges and the reduction in hours concerning the skate park. And as we all know, in the past few years, the investments that we have made in parks have been primarily pocket parks, small, two-parcel neighborhood parks that do not address the needs of youth, primarily teenagers. And this is not a city that has been very, should we say, progressive with regard to attending to the needs of youth. We now have a swimming pool that it's extensively used during the summer, and that's a good thing. But still, for kids 15, 16, 17, 18 years old, I don't think that this city really provides the type of venues necessary. And it shows up in the quality of life report. We have an increase in the obesity rate for children in schools. And so when I look at the city moving along to increase the fees for youth for something that's, I think, is essential and many families believe is a venue for kids to get engaged, I think back at where our money has gone in the past 10 years. And I remember in 2001 or 2002, I had a conversation with then Police Chief Seiberling, and he was telling me about his plans for retirement and what he was going to do. He was going to buy a brand new RV and travel the U.S. Today, he makes, in retirement, more money than he made while as police chief. We had an assistant city manager that today makes about $175,000 a year in retirement. And I figure, how do we benefit from that? How are we taking away from youth services so that we can pay this significantly large retirement compensation? That was not the agreement under most of these employees when they came in to work for the city of Glendale. It was 2% at 55. That was the agreement then. You changed it in 2005, and now we have a significant burden, especially since we guarantee the pension obligations of the returns from CalPERS. And that's where it shows. It shows that we are now not able to provide adequate services for youth because of these other obligations that this city council and prior city councils got into. And I ask myself whether this is a fair and equitable way of running a city, that we cannot perhaps look for other ways of controlling our costs, taking some of those savings, and applying them towards youth. The cost, internal cost for medical insurance that the city pays has grown by 500% since 2001. That's at least 3 times more than the national average. So why not have individuals who smoke and who are obese and overweight pay 50% of their health insurance? If they're not taking care of themselves, why should the public be paying for that? We could use that money to make sure that our kids get healthy. I mean, it's just an idea. I'm bringing up a topic of what I think is a burden that is unfair, that doesn't address the issues that this body should be addressing. Take some of the hot money, put it into programs that are useful for social services, do a report on the status of quality of life, do a report on the status of youth. So it is my hope that the city can come back sometime soon with a good overview of where we are with regard to funding properly programs for youth. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I have no other cards. Next item, please.
Any authority member or staff comments?
Are there any staff comments? Mr.
You know,
Renzi?
today I was sitting at a bus bench at Harvard and Brand. Truck came by, as they do every 2 days, swept everything, washed the sign where there's advertisement. There's also the bench itself. All of these things are new since I've been on the Housing Authority. Beautiful bench and very comfortable and with a top on it so in the heat you don't feel it like you normally would. And it's just one of the many things that the city does day in and day out that we just don't think about. And while I was sitting there today, I was just thinking, I just wanted to make a mention how I appreciate that.
Thank you, Mr. Mincy. If there are no other comments,
I move we adjourn.
we are adjourned.